Okay, YouTube. Kind of doing a couple of videos. Just kind of want to change it up a little bit here. Naturally, I do all kinds of product reviews. Anything I can get my hands on that I find interesting. But primarily, the channel is about watches, of course. And I know it's maybe a little confusing if you look and you see some videos on there. It's like, oh, if I travel somewhere, I did a review of, a hotel or whatever, of a car, just anything to get clicks to build the channel. But this one mainly I do watch reviews, okay? So watch show and tells. And this one here, I've been mainly doing videos about the Invictus because I'm so passionate about the brand and the Android USA brand. There's a lot of really cool watch manufacturers out there, but those are my favorites right now. I haven't really found anything that I want to spend my money on other than the Invictus and the Androids. I mean, you just get so much watch for your money and just, honestly, just amazing, like, unique styles. A lot of people have commented on my channel about other styles. I've checked them out, and some of them are pretty expensive. Some aren't all that expensive. Some are like $300-400. But for what you're actually getting, the size wise, material wise, I can't rationalize spending the money on it. So right now, I've taken a little bit of break from the Invictus. Hopefully my coworkers pick up some more, so I can do a couple more reviews. But I'm doing side by sides now, so you're gonna be seeing a lot more videos like that. But I wanted to change it up a little today because, like I said, even though I'm very passionate about the Invictus, I have been collecting watches for quite some time now. And, I do feel that, every watch has a little bit of a story. And I mentioned that a few times in my videos. But I wanted to just do a little side-by-side comparison, a little show and tell. And these aren't really going to get a lot of hits because this is kind of, these aren't really popular. But these are when, I guess, when I was really into the iced out look. And this is one of my first watches where I really started to get involved in wearing jewelry. And, the younger guy back then, I wore a lot of the, the bigger chains and that kind of stuff and that kind of look. I don't really wear stuff like that so much anymore, or the iced out stuff, but I still hold them in my collection. They still are interesting. These ones are made by Geneve, okay? And this is a brand they came out with, this must have been back in 2001. I've had these since. And these are all iced out. They're made by Geneve. Let's see, Geneve. This particular brand is 2001 is when they say this was made. Is that what I said? 2001. Geneve Elegante. Okay, and this one here, Geneve Elegante as well. These watches came with a bracelet and the same exact, design as far as the stones and the cuts on the stones. I got this one first, and I remember I would go to the mall and I'd pick up jewelry or sterling silver jewelry at the mall. They're still there. And they had some watches there, and I found a couple watches by Elgin and a couple old brands that are still around to this day. And what else did I pick up? Stuff like that. I'm really into the flashy kind of stuff. And there wasn't anything that I saw in any kind of stores or on the internet. The internet was still pretty new back then. I mean, everybody was using dial-up for the most part. So we're going back a ways here. And this one I found on a company called Ugleam. I did business with Ugleam for a little while, buying watches. I have a lot of, they kind of do the, I wouldn't say costume jewelry, but some, they're changing some of their styles a lot lately. They're getting different watches, but they kind of do a lot of the hip-hop watches and kind of the iced out look. And this was a brand that was out there for a while. I've even seen a few of these still floating around, but this was $200. It came with the bracelet, and I have to tell you, although this is not my style anymore, and I don't ever wear this, I'm just amazed at how well it's held up. I mean, there's a lot of the different cut stones in there you can see. This watch, when you put it out the window in the sun, I mean, just lights up. And it's amazing for a fake. They say it's Swarvoski crystals. I don't know a lot. That term gets tossed around a lot, especially with the term lab-made, lab-made jewelry. I don't really know if it is actually lab-made. I don't really know enough about it. I think it's just a selling term. But I tell you, this thing does sparkle. And I remember going to a sales conference and we had to do these silly kind of things where we ran around the room, kind of like some kind of relay or scavenger hunt. And I remember like some guy got in my way and I ended up like, it wasn't on purpose, but we were running and so excited to run around the room. I remember bashing into him and the watch went flying off my wrist and landed on the concrete. And you know what? For as old as this is, as much wrist time as this watch has had, I mean, there's not many stones falling out. So just kind of interesting that the quality of something like this. I mean, the crown used to screw down, doesn't screw down anymore, and there are a few stones missing. But, I mean, it's really held up, It's like a Rolex style. It's not even sized anymore. It's a little bigger. I mean, definitely a flashy watch. And then, of course, I went ahead and got this one here. which is just a different kind of style. And the funny thing is, I put this one up on eBay recently, and a guy was actually going to buy it, but the deal fell through. I was only asking like $50 for it. This one here, I'm not too